So, I recently just finished playing Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1, and now I can understand why so many people believe that this is one of the best stories ever told in video games, why this franchise has such a big fan base, and why this game won over like 80 Game of the Year awards, why it won the Game of the Year award for 2012 in the Video Game Awards, where it sold over 8.5 million copies. I honestly can understand why this game is so big, and honestly, I really regret not being part of the hype train back in 2012, where this game was just so hyped, where people were just going absolutely crazy for this game, where people were waiting like 1.5 months for every episode to come out from each other and stuff like that, and then would just like watch every episode and then see it end together and just, you know, have that sense of community. I would have killed to be in that community and just grow up with a game like this and just have that connection like I have with Uncharted and The Last of Us. And I don't know, man, I just feel like I missed out on a very good time in the gaming industry, but it is what it is, man. I guess that's what happens when you're raised as a Christian and just, you know, your parents just don't let you play M-rated games, because apparently if you play M-rated games, you're gonna become a psychopath and a killer and whatever. It's just, I don't know, man. Christian families are funny as fuck. But I finally had the chance to play it. I played it, and I think it's absolutely amazing. So I think what I want to do in this video is just talk to you guys why I think this game is great, why I actually love it, why I believe that I understand why this game is considered one of the best. And I just want to talk about the amazing things this game did back in the day that not a lot of games actually do today, which is actually give you a competent and good story where they can make you feel for these characters and actually have consequences other than just a lot of plot armor or convenient storytelling or whatever. This game feels raw and real, and I honestly want to talk about this game more. So before getting into the video, of course, like the video if you're a fan of this franchise, and remember to subscribe to the channel for Season 2, Season 3, and Season 4 reviews of The Walking Dead that I'm going to be posting in the next couple of days and weeks. So now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about why The Walking Dead Season 1 is an absolutely amazing game and why I absolutely love this game. Before giving you guys my view on The Walking Dead Season 1 and why I absolutely loved Season 1, I want to pass the mic first to Dom the Bomb and Decken, two YouTubers who have covered The Walking Dead for so many years, and probably two people who you might recognize in the Walking Dead community, and I feel like they should be the first ones to say what they feel about this game and why they love The Walking Dead so much.
Walking Dead Season 1, wow, I think it's the game that made me fall in love with like emotional story-based games where you have a story that's gripping and where you go through shit, but at the end of the day you go through it, keep moving forward type deal. So originally I watched somebody else play it, then I played it after going through some shit, and it's like a whole different ballpark playing it. Like even if you've been spoiled with the ending, when you got to that ending with Lee, oof. And I feel like it's a story of redemption too, because Lee, it's hinted that he had a, you know, troubled past, so to say. But whatever he did, he fully redeemed in my book. Like, Lee is one of my favorite characters of all time. Now, Last of Us 1 is my favorite story-based game. But if you were to ask me, gun to my head, Joel or Lee, I would not, like, I think, maybe I'd choose Lee. Yeah, it's like at the same level, but it's like, if it wasn't for Walking Dead, I probably wouldn't even play The Last of Us. My channel wouldn't even be where it was. You know, I wouldn't meet people that I met. Like one of my good friends, Dom. I met him through Walking Dead, and he actually told me he watched videos of mine, and then, bro, the cycle, yeah. So Walking Dead, one of the games that have contributed to my life, changing for the better. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dom the Bomb. You guys might know me from all my coverage of The Walking Dead. I just want to thank AP for featuring me in this video. I just want to give you guys a little quick rundown on what this game means to me. So, I ended up finding this game on the Xbox dashboard, I believe. It was on sale or something. It's like a year or two after it came out. That's how I got acclimated with the series as a whole. Series was the whole reason I started my channel. Season 1 clearly is my favorite. The story, characters Lee, Kenny, Clem, Omid, Krista, Chuck, Lily, Larry, the Stranger. Like, the whole list is extensive and easily has the best characters of any season. Great moments such as the St. John's Dairy, the Motor Inn, Savannah, the train, got the Marsh House, the ending, just all those moments. Emotional, from an emotional standpoint, this is probably my favorite game. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I've cried. You guys know I've cried in pretty much every season, but season 1 just in particular always hits the hardest because of the ending and everything that happened. This is a game that, you know, started my love for Telltale, and, you know, Telltale's back now. We got The Wolf Among Us 2 coming back, so you guys know I'll be back covering Telltale very, very soon. So I just want to thank AP for featuring me in this. The Walking Dead is a game that changed my life, and I can't wait for the future with Telltale. Me and Telltale, we go way back. We're best friends, you know, so I appreciate you, AP. Thank you for featuring me in this. Y'all need to play The Walking Dead if you haven't already. It's one game I will always say that each person here needs to play at least once in their life. So, at least season 1. So, thank you guys. Have a great one.
Thanks guys for your thoughts on Season 1 and for featuring in this video. So, I guess it's my turn to actually talk about Season 1 in more detail, and just like how I said in the beginning of this video, I believe that Season 1 of The Walking Dead is absolutely amazing. And although I didn't actually have the same type of history with this game like Deacon and Dom the Bomb and other fans of this franchise have, I honestly appreciate the story Telltale told in Season 1. And even though this game lacks in almost any sense of actual gameplay like other post-apocalyptic games like The Last of Us, Dying Light, and Days Gone, just to name a few, The Walking Dead game is intentionally designed mostly by dialogue options and occasional puzzle solving to maintain the focus mostly on the story and its amazing characters, the performances, and the music. These are the things that make this game so special from beginning to end, with it rarely ever skipping a beat. And the fact that this RPG really does affect the outcome of the story depending on what you choose to do or to say in this game is honestly awesome. After games that have promised these elements in the past, like for example Cyberpunk 2077, a game that only has about 2% of dialogue choices that actually do something to the story, is just very disappointing to say the least, and it's what we see more often than not. In the Walking Dead game, every decision matters, and it can be a matter of life or death for some characters. Some characters could either care for you or not trust you, and some can just leave you behind. Every decision has consequences, and no matter what you do, no matter what you try, you can't go back from it and fix it with future dialogue in the game in most cases. It's what keeps the stakes in this game so high, and there's barely any plot armor for almost any single character. No one is safe in this game, and with the events that happen in this game, the tensions are at all-time high, especially with the characters you grow to love. I love that the game revolves over making tough decisions that actually gives you multiple ways a story in a given episode can start and end, and it really makes every playthrough unique. And combining these elements with great performances, great music, interesting characters, and a well-written story, Telltale truly made a memorable game with The Walking Dead Season 1, and I can see why so many people fell in love with this franchise back in 2012. But what makes this game so special in my opinion, and what is making me want to replay this game again and again and again, is the variety of characters showcased in this game, especially Lee and Clementine. Seeing how their relationship develops over time in the game was a joy to watch, and it's an unforgettable experience, no matter how many approaches or decisions you make in this game. Without the relationship of Lee and Clem, this story and this game would just not work. It's extremely similar to Joel and Ellie from The Last of Us, and how their relationship was the pillar supporting the story of The Last of Us. It is essential that these two characters, Clementine and Lee, worked for the audiences, and Telltale truly nailed it with the casting of Dave Fanoy as Lee and Melissa Hutchison as Clementine. Because of their memorable performances and the high quality writing of these characters, I fell in love with their relationship and grew to have a bond with them, wanting them to find ways to survive and keep their relationship growing no matter what. And because of that connection Lee and Clem have, every decision in this game that I had to do, honestly, I tried my hardest to choose what was best for the group, but mostly for Clementine. I love the way this game was designed to truly impact the way the story goes and the ways others look and treat you depending on your decisions, because there were moments where I decided to kill someone, like for example, one of the cannibal brothers in the farm section in season 2, I knew that that fucking bastard deserved to be killed, and I just feel like that was in Lee's character to kill that son of a bitch. But then I realized moments later after killing that guy that Clem witnessed what I just did, and that shit right there made me feel so bad. And I was like, damn, I mean, can I just like restart this section and just do it differently? But shamefully, what was done was done. And for sure, Clementine must have been traumatized with what happened. And in my head, I was just thinking to myself so many times, is Clem going to lose respect for Lee after what just happened and just lose trust in him? And it was just going in my mind for a long time. And I think that is what was so genius about this game. Every single decision really feels like it matters. And that right there can influence me and even change my approach for future decisions, just for the sake of Clementine. Of course, I choose to kill others or let other people die or let, people behind as Lee, even though Clementine may have an issue with it, but I always did everything for the safety of the group and especially Clementine. Although letting, for example, that boy fall to his death in season 4 was mostly just because he let Clem almost getting eaten by a bunch of walkers because he was just a bitch and just ran away. So I kind of acted emotionally when that happened, but that right there is why this game and just gaming in general is so special. That interactive aspect is something you just don't get with movies or TV shows, and is exactly why I keep saying in almost every in-depth video that I make that well-made story-based games impact me and immerse me more than any other form of media, and it just becomes way more memorable to me at the end. Now, it wasn't just the dynamic between Lee and Clem that made me love this season so much, but the character development Lee and Clem get individually is absolutely amazing. It's awesome to see a character like Lee, a person that was being transported to prison after being convicted for murder in the beginning of the game, a man battling with his own demons, somebody that you would consider a bad person for what he did in the world where law and order was still a thing, go on to become a character that would redeem himself by the end of the game and do everything in his power to protect those who he grew to care for, like Kenny's family, and especially this little girl, Clementine, a person that he just randomly met in the beginning of the apocalypse, and how with time, Lee became a father figure to Clementine, putting his life on the line for her no matter the circumstances. Lee started to care for Clementine and grew to love her like a daughter. And because of Lee's love towards Clem, Clem's love and respect towards Lee grew as well, to the point where she trusted Lee even though he was just a total stranger and also did a few bad things in the process. What was beautiful also about Clem is that she had that innocence in her, and everything that she just did kind of influenced the group to try to become better in certain circumstances. And you can see that that also affected Lee in trying to be better every single time. I feel like that's why Lee grew to care for her so much, and then got to the point where he would actually go and teach her with time how to shoot a gun and just teach her the essentials on how to survive in a cruel world like The Walking Dead. With love and care, he guided Clem to become a survivor. His connection with Clem grew so big that when Clem was kidnapped by the end of episode 4 and Lee was bitten in the process, Lee did whatever he needed to do to delay his death by, for example, chopping off his arm and go full speed to rescue his little girl. And when Lee succeeds in rescuing Clementine and they get to a safe spot, Lee is now in his final moments, about to die and unable to move. He's guiding Clem in what to do, tells her everything she needs to do to survive, and gives Clem probably the hardest task she will ever have to do in her life: kill the person that she loves and respects the most in that moment, so that Lee could just finally rest in peace and Clem could move on and survive. Seeing this scene, after experiencing what Clem and Lee had to do to survive with the group, was honestly one of the hardest things I honestly had to watch in a story before. And because of the connection I built with Clem and Lee, I honestly could not hold the tears in, just completely broke down emotionally. It is without a doubt one of the most brutal scenes in gaming history.
What is it?
No, don't worry. All right. I'll miss you.
Me too.
Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 1, in my opinion, is absolutely amazing. I think I could even consider it a masterpiece, an unforgettable experience, a truly fantastic game where most decisions truly matter. It's a story filled with memorable moments in every single episode, especially episode 2 and 5, with amazing characters like Lee, Clem, and Kenny making the story absolutely amazing and very enjoyable to play through. The Walking Dead Season 1 is a game that I truly recommend those who haven't tried it to play it. It is a game that I want to replay many times to just see the different outcomes, and I know for a fact it is going to be a joy every single time I experience it. Telltale, thank you so much for making this game. I finally understand the hype and the love this game has and the following that this game has, and I'm so glad I finally had the chance to experience it for myself. I just wish that I was there in 2012, enjoying and celebrating this game with every single one of the fans of this franchise. Make sure to like the video and to subscribe to my channel for more videos on Season 2, Season 3, and 4 coming very soon. Endure and survive, my friends, and I'll see you guys next week for Telltale's The Walking Dead Season 2.